So again, hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Stephanie Foner, and I work on the Affinity and Domestic Engagement team in the Office of Alumni Relations at Northeastern. I bring engaging and unique programs such as this one to our wider Northeastern community. And I'm so excited to have you all joining us here today for this very special opportunity. So just a couple of housekeeping items first. As I've said a couple times this morning, I very much encourage you to select the speaker view in your Zoom settings so that the screen will show you Stacy throughout the program. Please keep your microphones on mute. If you have any issues or any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat box. I will be monitoring the chat box through the program. And then lastly, this program is about 30 minutes in length, and then there will be an optional Q&A at the end if anyone would like to stay on to ask any questions at all. And again, at that time, please put your questions into the chat box and I will read them out loud for Stacy. So now I would like to introduce our host today, Alumna Stacy Hernandez. Hold on, another guest. Stacy is a double Husky, having graduated from Northeastern in 1998 with her BA in history and in 2001 with her MS in school administration. Stacy has studied a variety of modalities and has worked with healers and teachers of many styles of yoga, meditation, energy medicine, indigenous and ancestral healing, and shamanic practices. Currently, she owns a spiritual coaching business called The Real You Project and has been in the field of college admissions and college counseling for the last 20 years. She owns a business called The Best You College Admissions Consulting. So now I'm going to turn the floor over to Stacy.
Hi, good morning. I'm here in Denver, Colorado, and I thank you, Stephanie, for this opportunity. And my work has shifted. I've been a very mainstream person working in college admissions for a long time. I worked in Northeastern in admissions, and I've traveled around, and I still own a practice and kind of work in that kind of more mainstream level. But my calling has always been, since I was young, to really go more into the unseen. And part of my indigenous background as being Lakota and Seneca, I have reached out to those sides of doing ceremony and learned more about the unseen world through my ancestors and through my lineages. However, I also have, because I am more of a mainstream type of person, I have a job, I have, that sort of thing. I have children that are in school and all of that. I have learned to integrate a more spiritual, deeper level meditative practice into my life and learning how to balance that between the workday, the being the parents, and also really feeding my soul. And so what I wanted to bring to you is a practice of turning within. That is it's a simple, easy way to really start tuning into yourself on a deeper level. 2020 was really about starting the process of us waking up to that new level of understanding of who we are. And so 2020 has forced us to really kind of rethink who we are, what do we want in our lives, where are our priorities. So it started the dismantling process of old structures that no longer serve us. That's internally and externally. 2021 is continuing that. So for many of you, you may feel that 2021 becomes even more intense because we are being called to remember who we are and to walk our authentic path. And so if you're starting to feel like the world is crumbling around you, or that you are out of sorts because you are questioning everything around you and what is right for you, that is your path to authenticity. It's your path to personal sovereignty. So all of the stuff we're hearing in the media, all the things that are happening in the world are our test to personal sovereignty. So it's what is truth to us, what is internally, what is our truth, what is right for us is different what's external. And it can match, Again, I'm a mother, I have kids, I have a husband, and sometimes we match, sometimes we don't. It's constant flow, and we're constantly going in and out of what we need. So what this practice is, and I'm going to bring to you today, helps you to retune into who you are, check in with you, and allow you to go deeper into your own inner voice, to help you to then be able to navigate the external influences that we have that take us off kilter and take us out of step with who we are. So it could be that internal voice that's saying, no, go to this job, do this, quit your job, quit your marriage, do this. Those kind of nagging voices, those inner voices that happen, that kind of loop that you get in, that nagging voice, usually is a sign of your inner voice saying, okay, this isn't truth for you anymore, and here's your authentic path. And so getting into that deeper level to connect with your intuition, into your inner voice, is what I'm going to start to show you today. So if you have a place where you can sit comfortably, we're going to close our eyes for just about maybe 20 minutes or so. We're going to close our eyes, so allowing yourself to be comfortable. While we do this, it may feel awkward, so you may want to go off screen. So, okay, everyone's off screen. Good. I know it feels weird when you're closing your eyes and all you're doing is staring at someone closing their eyes. So or the video is just everyone closing their eyes. So we're going to start to go into our own awarenesses right now. So closing your eyes, and I'm going to even close my eyes, but I'm going to pop in and out so I can check the clock. Taking a few breaths right now, just simple, natural breaths, taking a few breaths in and out. Focusing the breath, if you can, through the nose and out either through the nose or through the mouth, whatever's right for you. The breath always helps us to reconnect, helps our mind get less distracted. Focusing on the breath gives your mind, your ego space a focus. It gives it a purpose. So focusing in and out of the breath distracts the ego, allows it to have something to do. A few more breaths. And starting to be curious and observe where your awareness is right now. So your awareness is your knowing, your understanding, your observation, where you're focusing your attention. So noticing where your awareness is at this moment. It could be a complete blank place where you're just in this moment, breathing and focusing on that. It could be an awareness on, okay, after this, I have to go and take the kids here, or I got to do this, or I'm going to chill, or I got my grocery list. And it could be that your awareness is a little scattered right now, or it could be just right here. Noticing if your awareness is in your body or outside your body. So are you noticing your awareness is in front of you? Or your awareness is still in bed, but you're here, physically here, but your awareness is still sleeping? Or your awareness is wanting to go to work right now? Just noticing where physically your awareness is. Is it here in the room with you? Is it outside of you? Is it right in front of you? Or is it inside your body? And noticing that awareness. And we're actually going to bring our awareness into our body. So we're going to imagine our awareness, pulling our awareness into our headspace. So we're bringing it behind our eyes. So we're imagining we are actually hanging out behind our eyes inside our body. To do this, sometimes people need a visual. So I imagine myself sitting in a rocking chair, hanging out, my little mini me, sitting in the rocking chair, hanging out in my headspace behind my eyes. And I'm just watching what's happening on the outside, but I'm inside. It's like my own house. I'm here, no one's with me, it's just me, my awareness behind my eyes, hanging out. And as you do that, notice what it feels like. Observe if there's a difference between where your awareness was and now where it is. Noticing that awareness in your inside your body. When you're in here, you can then observe everything happening outside, and you can observe it from a different angle. That doesn't have to impact you or influence you because you're inside your home, you're inside your body. If you turn on the radio and listen to the news, you watch the TV, listen to the news, you don't have to take it in because you're inside your body. You're just watching, you're an observer of what's happening around you. Now we're going to bring our awareness down. We're going to take that awareness and start to bring it down through the throat, down to the chest, and into the heart space. So bringing that awareness down into the heart space. So that same idea, I imagine myself as a little mini me sitting in a rocking chair, sitting inside my heart space. I'm hanging out in my heart. And I'm observing from the heart space now, rather than the ego driver, rather than through the brain. I'm now in my heart space, hanging out in there, feeling my body. And when I look out through my heart, I actually see the world even different, more different than I would from my head. So I'm hanging out in my rocking chair, sitting in my heart space, feeling and observing. And if you notice that you get kicked out, bring yourself back in. You can go through the behind the eyes and the head space down, or you can come right back into the heart space. If you're having a hard time getting into the heart space, allow yourself to be in your body wherever you can. That could still be behind your eyes, could be down in your throat, noticing where you are able to stay in your body. And as we are in our heart space, start to tune into your heartbeat. And if you need to, you can always touch your pulses. You can go behind your ears, start to feel your heartbeat there. You can touch on your wrists to feel the heartbeat there. Just feeling your heartbeat. You can put your hand on your chest if that allows you to feel your heartbeat. Tuning into your heartbeat. Feel the rhythm of your heartbeat. The heartbeat is your soul song. This is your rhythm. This is your unique piece in what you bring to this planet, to this life you're in. This is your rhythm. Observing your heartbeat, feeling it, feeling the pulsing, feeling the frequency, feeling the beat of your heartbeat. And as you get comfortable, allow the heartbeat to spread throughout your body. Maybe it rises up through the chest, into the throat, and all the way through the head. Maybe it rises up, even out the crown of your head. Maybe it stays in. And going down to the collarbones, to your upper back, through your chest, down your back, and down to your solar plexus. So that's right below the rib cage. Noticing the heartbeat is spreading throughout your whole body. It goes through the back of your body, through the front, down to the solar plexus, down to the lower belly, to the lower back, to the buttocks, to the pelvis, to the womb space, since we're all in creation mode now, through the womb space, through the pelvis, noticing the heartbeat there, observing your rhythms, your heartbeat down in your pelvis. And again, if you get kicked out, come back in. Go through the eyes, or go through the heart space, and you work your way down. And we're going down to the perineum. So that's your core, that's your root. So that's that pelvic floor space. So in the perineum, for women, we do our Kegels through the perineum. So if you notice that root spot, that's the seat of the soul. It's where the original seeds of your DNA are. And in that root, in that perineum space, notice if you can pulse the perineum. Notice if you can match the rhythm of your heartbeat down in your perineum. So you may actually physically pulse it. And what that does is not only does it reconnect you again to your core purpose, to who you are at that root level, but what it also does is it actually starts to connect you to the earth energy, to the earth. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Nice. Good. And we're going to go right in to the earth, the center of the earth. We're going to open the door. There's a door right in our perineum. Nice. I'm going to open that door. And what that door is doing is allowing the rhythms of the Mother Earth into our awareness. We're walking through the door, taking one step, then a next. And it brings us to a field. And we're in this beautiful, spectacular open field now. Surrounded by possibly flowers, other people, other beings, animals, whatever your field looks like. And someone is approaching you. This could be a person, it could be a being, it could be an animal. Someone is approaching you with a box. They're asking you to open the box. And when you open it, there is a gift that you are receiving. This gift will look differently to each of you. It could be a ball of light, it could be a gem, it could be something, it could look like anything. But that gift that you are receiving, they're asking you to bring it into your heart, bringing it into your heart space. It's a reconnection. Yeah, there you go. It's another level of waking up to who you are, that they are bringing awareness to you. You're closing the box. You're thanking that being. For each of you, it actually looks like a member of your team, a guide, someone from your entourage, someone that looks over you and helps you. Thanking them, saying goodbye, and heading back to the door. Yeah, good. And we're going to step through that door and back into the perineum, feeling the pulsing of the perineum, the heartbeat, feeling that heartbeat. It's very strong within all of you right now. That rhythm is very strong. It's a different tone for each of you. It's just a different frequency that's happening within each of you right now. But as you come back through the door into the perineum and shutting the door, yes, it's anchoring in. It's anchoring into you. It's like a whole new level, and your heart space just opened up. And remembering this root, remembering this place, you're back home. Welcome home. Welcome home. Your home is within you, within this body. Yes. And bringing your awareness back up through the pelvis. And take a few breaths in the pelvis, feeling that heartbeat within the pelvis. If you get knocked out, come right back in. If your mind's drifting, come right back in. Go into your heart space, come down into your pelvis. And notice and observe while you're in your womb space, in your pelvis. Notice in that space if there is some uncomfortable feelings that are arising. Or maybe there's some joyful feelings. Maybe there's some type of sensation that's presenting for you. It could be a thought, it could be a feeling, it could be a physical sensation. Just observing what presents. In 2021, we're being called to really step into our creation, to our unique sounds, our unique tones, our unique flavor. That's that sovereignty piece that is coming into our full expression. And so when we're in that second chakra space, that womb space, that's the space of creation. And so for some, it can be triggering. For some, it can be a very warm, loving place. For others, it's understanding our relationship to it so we can get comfortable and safe in that womb space. And we're moving up now into our solar plexus. This is the seat of this is not the seat of our soul. This is our core. In our solar plexus, there's our core light. This is where we hold our original light, our core light. This is our full expression of who we are in this light. So the solar plexus can feel challenging. It can be hard to access. It can feel wonderful. It's just observing what comes up for you when you're in the solar plexus, that space below the ribs, noticing perhaps you can see the light, your core light, your essence. Perhaps you can't access it. It's all good. There's no right, wrong, good or bad anymore. It just is. Just is. So observing from the place of, oh, okay, this feels uncomfortable right now. I want to leave. I want to run. Or, wow, I'm sinking deeper into who I am. Wow, I notice, I feel warmth. So just observing. And then we're moving back up into the heart space, into the rhythm of our heartbeat. And taking a few more breaths here, a few more breaths, bringing our awareness into our heart space. If you are noticing any of your awareness outside of you, maybe out in space or out scattered throughout, let's say the earth plane, or down below, you're noticing you wanted to hang out in the earth, bring your awareness back. It's like you're echoing your name back into your heart space, bringing your awareness back into your heart. Yeah. Okay. Good. I'm taking a few more breaths here. And as we wrap up and as we end, we're going to stay in our heart space. We're not going to leave and come out through our eyes, through our head space. We're going to stay here. Take 2 more breaths. And when you're ready, slowly start to open your eyes. And we're gonna wiggle our fingers, wiggle your toes, just getting yourself more back onto this physical plane, back here. Good. Okay. Now, normally I do this would be like an hour long, going into it and really sitting in things more. But the intention of this is getting ourselves in our bodies. Because when we're out of our bodies, we can be scattered. We are not within us and expressing who we are from within. We are influenced by everything else around us rather than coming from our power source within us. And so remembering to go back into your body means bringing your awareness behind your eyes. Ideally, we want to be in our heart space. That concept of living from your heart, being from your heart, is this, being in your heart space. So I wanted to introduce this to you, understanding your heartbeat. When you tune into your heartbeat, when it can help you instantly go within yourself and claim from within rather than those influences outside of us. So we can make our choices from within rather than from without. So I'll open it up to any questions that people may have. And thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, Stacy. That was very impactful. So if anyone has any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box. I know we're all kind of getting back into, it's hard to take a step back into activity after such an experience. But if anyone has any questions about Stacy's background or training, or about next steps, or about the experience itself, please feel free to put it in the chat box, and I'd be happy to read it out loud. Okay, great question. Where can we find some of this work, or do you have your own space or a place to get guided visualizations like this?
Yeah, thanks, Sandra. So there's a couple different things. Like when you're really starting to go, if this is new for you, being introduced into this space of the visualization piece, I can absolutely work with you one-on-one to go into these deeper levels. Yes. And my business is therealyouproject.com, and I can post that in the chat. So that's one thing. If I say someone's leaving, I couldn't see the name, but okay.
Soraya.
Soraya. Okay. Yeah. I saw last name. I didn't see first name at the minute. So, but the other space, and there's some really great apps out there that I'm really appreciating. Or there is Denise Lynn. She's with Hay House. Hay House is a publishing company. They have a radio station. Denise Lynn, I really like her work right now. because she goes into these guided images, these guided visualizations that are short. And you can get, there's an app where you can get her like Denise Lynn's work because it really takes you in deeper. I like also Wayne Dyer. I really like Wayne Dyer's work too, because he does these really simple, brief, guided image, guided visualizations and meditations. So those two are kind of like a nice gateway in to starting this work, to really start tuning in deeper. But if you're interested in going deep into kind of some real deep soul purpose work, my piece is a little bit, we go into this and then we also go and read the energy and we talk through why you have certain behaviors and patterns, and let's start breaking those. So
Great.
yes.
Do you have any recommendations for how to tame a harsh inner critic and subconscious self-sabotage?
Thank you. So, Maria, thank you for that question. I am one of the worst with that. I'm a big time internal, self-critic, to the point where now I'm so in tuned with that I actually get a migraine every time I have negative thoughts about myself. It's that my body's so in tune now that I can't even be in that space of being a self-critic anymore. So really doing that work, starting by catching yourself. If it's like you're the observer, as we went in and we were observing, you're observing your behaviors, you're observing your patterns. So if you are noticing, whoa, I just beat myself up here, I just criticized myself, noticing that, and then bringing that criticism into your heart space. So imagining you're down back into your heart space and you're observing that thought, and you actually physically pull it into your heart space, because what your heart will do is transmute it. And that will then tune you into yourself and reconnect you back into yourself. So that's the start, is observing it and noticing where that source comes from, because it comes from within, but it's usually because it's an external influence. So that, oh, I'm doing this because I don't look at, I don't work as hard as my client or my customer, or I don't work as hard as my teammate. I'm so bad at this. That's an external. We're looking and comparing externally rather than declaring ourself from our sovereign self. Like, oh, this is who I am. This is with my capability. So it's loving yourself and understanding, what am I capable of? What can I do at this moment? And that's what's been helping me to get to that place. So.
Wonderful. Oh, and thank you, Stacy, for adding the website that people can reference to go to for your additional services and work.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Maria was saying that, where it comes from, that the start is, again, the observing, noticing, witnessing. And if you're ready to start going into, see where it comes from, yes, there are the external sources, but within, there is something deeper within you that is keeping those patterns going. And so it's observing and asking questions. Okay, why am I doing this right now? Where is this coming from? And it actually takes you places. So sometimes when I do that and I ask that question, then I go into, oh, okay, I remember this as a child. And then that brings me back to that place of, and I can actually go into a feeling of, okay, I feel unsafe right now. And when I go into that and I go into the feeling of unsafe, I am in the feeling of unsafe. And I really allow myself to have it. Or I allow myself to have in that moment, okay, I'm really beating myself up right now. I feel like shit. I'm in it. Sorry if I'm not supposed to swear, but I'm in it and I'm feeling it and I'm feeling it. I'm not running away from it. I'm allowing myself to have that feeling of like, I'm so mad at myself and I'm mad. And when you really allow yourself to have the feeling and wash over you, you'll be surprised how much it just goes through you fast, versus noticing in that moment, are you running away? Are you sinking into that feeling? And underneath that feeling, then something else arises. And it could be then that notice, oh, the reason why I'm a self-critic is because of this. Then the awareness comes in even on a deeper level. And there's so much more to it that I can go into. It's just, here's some like surface stuff to really start working on when you're that internal critic, when you have that. Oh, good, Maria, thanks.
So if there are no further questions, Stacy, I'd love if you could give us a piece of guidance as we head into 2021 for how, whatever you think would be most helpful, how we can be kind to ourselves, how we can approach another difficult year, set us on a path.
Yes. So the piece of being the observer right now is a really important piece. So noticing your triggers. So this is a really important one, because when we go through life, let's say, I'm going to give the example of, I'm trying not to go political, but it's a big trigger, right? For a lot of people. I'm noticing the news and I'm mad at that person who left the office, and I'm mad about a behavior he had, right? That's a trigger. When we're in our full soul alignment, when we're in our sovereignty, we're neutral with everything. We're not triggered by anything anymore. Anything. I mean, on the fullest expression of who we are, we're not even triggered by death. We're not even triggered by anything. We know it's a part of the natural life. We know these pieces are. Suffering is a choice in a lot of ways. There's other pieces that we don't have control over. So when we are observing our triggers and we're triggered by something, and we notice it and say, whoa, why am I triggered? Why do I care? Like, why am I so triggered? It's something within you that's being triggered. And it could be, I'm so sick of being in the house. I just want to get outside. I feel so trapped. That trigger. Why are we triggered right now? So it's asking the question and allowing yourself to sink into the feelings. So it's noticing your triggers, being kind on yourself when those triggers arise, but allowing yourself to feel them through, allow them to move through and out. So noticing your behaviors and how you react to things is a big one. And getting inside your body, bringing your awareness behind your eyes into your heart space as you move through the day. And when you are in your own sovereignty, that's being in your body, things just bounce off of you. They don't come in, or you're not influenced by them. You're not triggered by them. And so you're claiming yourself from a different space, from your own personal power. So as you move through, what's going to be coming up are some pretty intense pieces. Stock market's crashing. There's going to be some food shortage stuff. There's going to be a lot of different pieces that are going to start presenting in our awareness. What's going to happen with that is we can instantly get triggered, but when we stay within, we know this is just the flow. We're in the flow of what's happening, and we're going to work ourselves through this. And when we claim our own personal sovereignty, we come from a place that allows us to do this with grace rather than intensity. Wonderful. So I hope that helps.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you so much for joining us. Oh, it looks like we have another
Who's that?
NU grad in Denver, and Jamie. That's wonderful.
Oh, nice. We'll have to
make
connect.
those connections. Yes. So have a wonderful day, everyone. I hope you found this to be special and beneficial. And thank you again for joining us. Hope to see you again soon.
Thank you. Take care. Thank you.